I had just finished sewing up a fourth-degree tear on a woman who had been in labor for 36 hours when my phone buzzed with a text from Mark. Don't forget the champagne. We have news. I stared at the screen while scrubbing blood off my forearms. News. That word from Mark always meant something that benefited him and cost me something. Last time he had news, it was that he bought a vintage Porsche without telling me. The time before that, it was that his mother was moving in for just 6 months. That was 3 years ago. I didn't reply. I shoved the phone into my locker and finished my shift. 3 deliveries in 12 hours, a set of triplets, a breech birth that nearly went south, and a placenta previa that had me sweating through my scrubs. I was running on caffeine and spite. By the time I walked through the front door of our Lake Forest mansion, yes, mansion, because Mark's family had money that predated the income tax, it was 11 p.m. The house was lit up like a Christmas tree. I heard laughter from the living room. Female laughter. High-pitched. Nervous. I dropped my bag in the foyer. The marble floor echoed. I hated that sound. It made the house feel empty even when it was full of people. Zara! There you are! Mark appeared in the archway. He was wearing a cashmere sweater, the one I bought him for our 5th anniversary. His hair was perfectly styled. He looked like he had just stepped out of a catalog for wealthy assholes. He was holding a glass of red wine, his third, judging by the flush on his cheeks. "You're late," he said, not asking how my day was. Never asking. I was delivering babies. "Mark, your news can wait." "No, actually. It can't." He grabbed my wrist. His grip was tight, possessive. He pulled me into the living room. And there she was, a girl, young, maybe 22, blonde hair in a messy bun, yoga pants, a oversized sweatshirt that said Namaste in glitter letters. She was sitting on her white sofa, the one I specifically told everyone not to sit on with jeans, and she was crying. Her face was blotchy. Her hands were shaking. Next to her, perched like a queen on a throne, sat Eleanor Williams, my mother-in-law, platinum blonde bob, pearls, a vodka martini with 3 olives. She looked at me the way she always looked at me, like I was a stain on her antique rug. "Zara, darling," Eleanor said, her voice dripping with fake warmth. "So glad you could join us. We have a delicate matter to discuss." I didn't sit down. I stood in the middle of the room, still in my scrubs, still smelling like antiseptic and exhaustion. "Who is this?" The girl looked up at me. Her eyes were red. "I'm Sarah. Lily. Everyone calls me Lily." "Okay, Lily. Why are you in my house?" Mark stepped forward. He put his hand on my shoulder. I shrugged it off. "Sweetheart," he said, using that tone he reserved for talking to clients or children. She's going to have a baby." I blinked. "Congratulations. Is that why you dragged me home? To tell me someone we don't know is pregnant?" Eleanor set down her martini. "She's not someone we don't know, Zara. She's family." The room went quiet. I heard the ice clink in Eleanor's glass. I heard Lily sniffle. I heard my own heartbeat in my ears. "What do you mean? Family?" Mark sighed. He ran his hand through his hair. That was his nervous tic. I knew all his tells. The sigh, the hair, the way he wouldn't meet my eyes. "Lily and I have been seeing each other," he said, "for about 6 months. And she's pregnant. The baby is mine." I didn't react. That surprised him. He expected tears, screaming, throwing things. That's what his ex-girlfriends did. That's what his mother did. But I wasn't them. I was a surgeon. I had watched people die on my table. I had held a mother's hand while she miscarried. I had seen worse than this. "I see," I said. "And you brought her here because—" Eleanor stood up. She walked over to me. She put her cold, bony hand on my arm. "Because we need your help. Dear, Lily is very fragile. She's only 24 weeks along, and she's been having complications. She needs constant monitoring. And since you're the best OBGYN in the state—" "No. Excuse me? No. I'm not treating your son's mistress. Find another doctor. Mark stepped between us. His face was red. Zara, don't be difficult. This is about the baby. An innocent child. You're a doctor. You took an oath. I took an oath to save lives, not to clean up your messes. Lily started crying harder. I'm sorry, she sobbed. I didn't mean for this to happen. Mark said he would leave you. He said you guys were basically separated anyway. I turned to Mark. Are we separated? He looked at the floor. Well, I mean, we've been drifting apart for a while. You're always working. You never want to travel. You don't even want kids. I don't want kids because you don't want kids. You told me on our honeymoon that children would ruin our lifestyle. You made me get an IUD. Remember? Eleanor waved her hand dismissively. That was then. Things change. Mark has realized he wants a legacy, and Lily is providing that. The least you can do is ensure the child is born healthy. It's your duty as a wife and a physician. I laughed. I couldn't help it. It came out sharp and bitter. My duty? You want me to play midwife to the woman who fucked my husband? Language. Zara. Eleanor snapped. Oh, I'm sorry. Is my language offensive? I'll try to be more polite while discussing how your son knocked up a yoga instructor and expects me to handle the prenatal care. Mark grabbed my shoulders. Hard. His fingers dug into my skin. Listen to me. You are going to help her. You are going to do her checkups. You're going to make sure this baby is healthy. And you're going to do it with a smile on your face. Because if you don't, I will make your life a living hell. I will drag you through a divorce that will ruin you. I will tell the hospital board about your emotional instability. I will take everything. I stared at him. His eyes were wild. Spit was forming at the corners of his mouth. This was not the man I married. This was a stranger wearing his face. Let go of me, I said quietly. He didn't. Mark, let go. He released me. I stepped back. I looked at the three of them. Eleanor, smug and superior. Lily, pathetic and crying. Mark, entitled and furious. They thought they had me cornered. They thought I would cave. They didn't know me at all. Fine, I said. I'll do it. Mark's face softened. Really? Really? I'll schedule her appointments. I'll monitor the pregnancy. I'll do whatever you want. Eleanor smiled. I knew you'd see reason. Dear, family comes first. I nodded. I smiled. I played the part. Of course. Family first. I walked upstairs. I locked the bedroom door. I sat on the bed and I didn't cry. I planned. I waited until I heard them leave. Until I heard Mark's car pull out of the driveway. He was probably taking Lily to a hotel. Or to her apartment. I didn't care. I went into his study. The lock was cheap. I picked it with a paperclip. I had learned that trick from a patient who used to be a burglar. Funny what you pick up in the ER. His desk was organized. Too organized. That meant he was hiding something. I opened the bottom drawer. A false bottom. Underneath. A folder. Thick. Labeled personal. Inside. I found everything. Bank statements. Photos. Receipts. A list of names. 5 of them. All women. All with dates and amounts. Payments. Hush money. Mark had been cheating on me for years. Multiple women. Multiple pregnancies. He paid them off. Every single one. Except Lily. Lily was different. She had evidence. Texts. Voicemails. A recording of him promising to marry her. She was blackmailing him. That's why he brought her home. That's why he needed me to play nice. He was trapped. I kept digging. I found a medical file, old, from the 1980s, addressed to Brett Williams, Mark's father. It was a genetic report for Brett's brother, Charles. Charles had died at 35. The cause of death was listed as complications from a neurodegenerative disorder, but the report said something else. It said the family carried a rare mutation, a dominant gene, 50% chance of passing it on. Symptoms usually appeared in the late 20s, early 30s, death within 5 years of onset. Charles had it. Brett was a carrier, which meant Mark was a carrier, which meant his baby had a 50-50 chance. I looked at Lily's blood work. Mark had left it on the counter earlier, probably hoping I would review it. I did. I saw the markers. The same ones. The baby was fine now, but the risk was there. I smiled. I packed one bag. Just essentials. Passport. Cash. A few changes of clothes. I left my jewelry. I left my wedding ring. I left everything else. On the kitchen counter, I placed a single manila envelope. Inside, I put a copy of the genetic report, a copy of Charles's autopsy summary, and a note. It read, "Dear family, thank you for reminding me of my worth. I am not a tool. I am not a servant. I am a doctor, and doctors diagnose problems. Your problem is in this envelope. Good luck with the baby. Zara." I walked out the door at 4 in the morning. The sky was gray. The street was empty. I got into my car. I drove. My phone rang. Mark. I ignored it. It rang again. Eleanor. I ignored it. It rang a third time. Unknown number. I answered. Dr. Williams? Speaking. This is Officer Ramirez from the Lake Forest Police Department. We received a call from your husband reporting you missing. Are you safe? I'm perfectly safe. Officer. Tell my husband I'll be in touch. Now. He says you took something from his office. A confidential file. Tell him I took what belongs to me. My freedom. I hung up. I drove toward the airport. I had a flight to catch. A new life to start. But before I left, I made one more call. To Lily's mother. I had found her number in Mark's files. Hello. Mrs. Thompson? My name is Zara Williams. I'm a doctor. I have some information about your daughter's pregnancy that she needs to hear. Can we talk? There was a pause. Is Lily okay? Not yet, but she will be. If she listens to me. I told her everything. The genetic mutation. The lies. The cover-up. The hush payments. The blackmail. I told her where to find the proof. She was silent for a long time. Then she said, "What do you want from us?" "Nothing. I just want the truth to come out." I hung up. I boarded the plane. I didn't look back. As the wheels left the ground, I thought about Mark, about Eleanor, about the baby, about the chaos I had left behind. They thought they had won. They had no idea what was coming. I closed my eyes and smiled. They thought I was a tool. They forgot I was a doctor. The plane touched down at LAX at 7 in the morning. I hadn't slept. I didn't need to. Adrenaline was pumping through my veins like a drug. I walked through the terminal with my single bag, past the families reuniting, past the businessmen checking their watches, past the tourists taking selfies. I was invisible. That was exactly what I wanted. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Again. I had stopped counting after 50 missed calls. Mark, Eleanor, Brett, a few numbers I didn't recognize. I had silenced the ringer, but the vibration was becoming annoying. I pulled it out and saw a text from Mark. "You think you're clever? You think you can run? I will find you. I will destroy you. This isn't over." I deleted it without reading the rest. I turned off the phone. I pulled out the SIM card and snapped it in half. I dropped the pieces into a trash can outside baggage claim. I took a cab to Silver Lake. Small apartment. Second floor. My friend Priya was a radiologist at Cedars-Sinai. She was on sabbatical in Thailand for 6 months. She had given me the keys before she left, just in case. I didn't tell her why I needed them. She didn't ask. That's why we were friends. The apartment was small. 1 bedroom. A couch that folded out. A kitchen with mismatched cabinets. It smelled like incense and coffee. It was perfect. I dropped my bag on the floor. I sat on the couch. I stared at the ceiling. For the first time in 48 hours, I breathed. 3 days passed. I didn't leave the apartment. I ordered food delivered. I slept 12 hours straight. I showered twice. I checked my email on a burner laptop I bought with cash. My lawyer, David Rosenstein, had sent me a message. He was a pit bull in a suit. I had hired him 6 months ago, after I found Mark's first suspicious credit card charge. I hadn't told Mark. I had prepared. David's email was short. Accounts frozen on his end. Yours are secure. Prenup is solid. He's scrambling. Call me when you're ready. I smiled. I called him. Zara, you're alive. Barely. What's happening over there? David laughed. It was a dry, humorless laugh. Chaos. Your husband filed a missing person report. Then he tried to withdraw 50 grand from a joint account. I blocked it. He called me screaming. I told him to call his lawyer. He doesn't have one yet. He's flying blind. And the family? Eleanor called my office. Demanded to speak to you. Said it was urgent. I told her you were unavailable. She threatened to sue. I told her to go ahead. What about the report? I mailed copies to everyone on your list. Lily's mother, the family attorney, the country club board. Should arrive tomorrow. Good. Zara, are you sure about this? Once that information is out, there's no putting it back. I'm sure. All right. Stay safe. Call me if anything changes. I hung up. I opened my laptop. I started looking for jobs. 2 weeks later, I was standing in a fertility clinic in Beverly Hills. The building was glass and steel. The lobby had a waterfall. The receptionist wore a white dress that cost more than my first car. Dr. Helena Ross was the director. She was 60, silver-haired, sharp-eyed. She had built the clinic from nothing. She was known for taking risks on unconventional candidates. You're Dr. Zara Chin-Williams, she said, reading my resume. Northwestern Memorial, top of your class, published in the Journal of Reproductive Medicine. Why are you applying for a locum tenens position in Los Angeles? Personal reasons. Personal reasons. That's vague. I left my husband. He cheated. I needed a fresh start. She looked at me. Her eyes didn't blink. I appreciate honesty. Most people lie. They say they want a change of pace. They say they need to be closer to family. You told me the truth. The truth is easier to remember. She laughed. I like you. You start Monday. Don't make me regret it. I threw myself into work. 12-hour shifts. Complex cases. Women who had been told they would never conceive. Couples who had spent fortunes on failed treatments. I gave them hope. I gave them results. Within a month, I had a reputation. Patients requested me by name. Nurses respected me. Other doctors asked for my opinion. I was rebuilding, but I never stopped watching. I kept a tab open on my browser. The Chicago Tribune, the Lake Forest Gazette. I searched for the Williams name every night. One night, I found it. Williams Family Faces Genetic Fraud Lawsuit. I clicked the link. The article was brutal. Someone had leaked the story. Lily's mother, probably, or maybe one of the nurses at the hospital. It didn't matter. The damage was done. The article detailed everything. The hidden genetic mutation, the cover-up, the multiple affairs, the hush payments, the blackmail. It named names. Mark, Eleanor, Brett, even poor dead Charles. I read it 3 times. I felt nothing. No guilt. No satisfaction. Just emptiness. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. Los Angeles area code. I answered. Zara. It was Mark. His voice was hoarse. Broken. How did you get this number? It doesn't matter. Listen. I need you to come home. I'm not coming home. Mark. The baby is sick. I paused. What do you mean? Lily went into early labor. The baby is in the NICU. They found something. A neurological issue. The doctors are saying it's genetic. They're asking about family history. And I didn't tell them. I couldn't. If they find out about Uncle Charles, about the mutation, they'll report us. I'll lose my license. My father will lose his pension. My mother will lose everything. That's not my problem. Zara, please. You're the only one who understands this. You're a doctor. You can help. You can explain it to them. Make it sound less serious. Please. I closed my eyes. I thought about the baby, innocent, born into a family of liars, fighting for its life before it could even breathe. Where is Lily? She's at Northwestern, room 412. She's a wreck. She won't talk to me. She blames me for everything. She's right. I know. But the baby doesn't deserve this. Please, Zara, for the baby. I was silent for a long time. I'll think about it. Thank you. I hung up. I didn't sleep that night. I paced the apartment. I argued with myself. Part of me wanted to let them rot. Part of me remembered my oath. Du noir. In the morning, I called David. I need you to do something. Name it. I need you to contact the hospital in Chicago. Northwestern Memorial. The neonatal unit. Tell them I'm consulting on a case. Baby Williams. Tell them I have relevant medical history. Zara, that's a breach of privacy. You could lose your license. I'm not giving them confidential information. I'm giving them a diagnosis. They already have the baby. They already have the symptoms. I'm just saving them time. Why? Because the baby is innocent, and because I want Mark to know that I could have destroyed him. But I chose not to. David sighed. You're a better person than me. No, I'm just tired of being angry. I flew to Chicago the next day. I didn't tell Mark. I didn't tell Eleanor. I walked into Northwestern Memorial like I owned the place. I had privileges there. I was still technically on staff. No one questioned me. I found the NICU. I found the baby. A boy. Tiny. Wired to machines. His skin was translucent. His eyes were closed. He was fighting. I reviewed his chart. The MRI showed early signs of demyelination. The same pattern as Charles. The same pattern as the family curse. I wrote a note. Detailed. Clinical. I included the family history. I included the genetic markers. I recommended a treatment plan. Experimental. Risky. But possible. I signed it. Consulting physician. Dr. Zara Chen. Then I left. I was walking through the lobby when I heard my name. Zara. Eleanor. She looked older. Her hair was unwashed. Her pearls were gone. She was wearing sweatpants. Sweatpants. Eleanor Williams, who once told me that sweatpants were a sign of moral decay. What are you doing here? She asked. Saving your grandson's life. Her face crumpled. She started crying. Ugly crying. Snot and tears. I'm sorry, she said. I'm so sorry. For everything. For the way I treated you. For the way Mark treated you. For bringing that girl into your home. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I didn't comfort her. I didn't hug her. I just stood there. Your apology doesn't change anything. Eleanor. I know. But I had to say it. The baby might survive. But he'll have challenges. He'll need specialized care for the rest of his life. Mark will have to step up. Or not. That's up to him. Where are you going? Back to Los Angeles. I have a life there now. Will you come back? For the baby? No. I walked past her. I didn't look back. I was at the gate, waiting for my flight, when my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Dr. Chin? This is Dr. Patel at Northwestern NICU. I received your consultation note. Thank you. The treatment plan you suggested is brilliant. We've started the protocol. The baby is responding well. You saved his life. I read the message twice. I felt something in my chest. Not happiness. Not pride. Something quieter. Something like peace. I replied, keep me updated. And Dr. Patel? Don't mention my involvement to the family. I prefer to remain anonymous. I boarded the plane. I found my seat. I put on my headphones. As the plane lifted off, I looked out the window. Chicago shrank below me. The lake, the skyline, the life I left behind. I thought about Mark, about Eleanor, about Lily, about the baby. I thought about the woman I used to be, the one who stayed, the one who apologized, the one who shrank herself to fit into their world. She was gone. I was someone else now, someone stronger, someone free. 3 months later, I was in my office at the Beverly Hills clinic when my assistant knocked. Dr. Chin? There's someone here to see you. He doesn't have an appointment. He says it's urgent. I looked at my calendar. I had a patient in 20 minutes. Who is it? He says his name is Mark. Mark Williams. My blood went cold. Tell him I'm busy. I tried. He won't leave. He's sitting in the lobby. He says he'll wait all day if he has to. I stood up. I walked to the door. I opened it. Mark was sitting in a chair, hunched over, holding a cup of coffee he wasn't drinking. He looked terrible, thin, pale, dark circles under his eyes. He saw me. He stood up. Zara. Mark. What are you doing here? I came to thank you. For what? For the baby. He's stable. He's going to make it. The doctors said your treatment plan saved his life. That's not why I did it. I know, but I still wanted to say thank you. We stood there, staring at each other, strangers who used to share a bed. I'm getting divorced, he said. Lily filed. She's taking the baby to Oregon. I signed over my rights. It's better that way. I'm sorry. Don't be. I deserve it. I deserve everything that happened. Yes, you do. He laughed, bitter, hollow. You're not going to make this easy, are you? No. I miss you. I don't miss you. He flinched. Good. I should go, he said. Yes, you should. He turned to leave. Then he stopped. Zara, one thing. Did you ever love me? I thought about it. Really thought about it. I loved the idea of you. The man I thought you were. But that man never existed. So no, I don't think I did. He nodded. He walked out. I watched him go. I felt nothing. I went back to my office. I checked my messages. I had a new patient coming in. A woman who had been trying to conceive for 7 years. She was nervous. She was hopeful. I could help her. That was enough. That was more than enough. That night, I sat on my balcony. The city lights spread out below me. The air was warm. The sky was clear. My phone buzzed. A text from Ethan, the doctor I had been seeing, casually. He was funny, smart, kind. He didn't know my full story. Not yet. But he was patient. Dinner tomorrow? I know a place. Great pasta. Better wine. I smiled. I typed back. Sounds perfect. I put down my phone. I looked at the stars. I thought about the journey that brought me here. The pain. The betrayal. The escape. The rebirth. I didn't regret any of it. Every scar was a lesson. Every wound was a gift. I was Zara Chin, not Zara Williams. Not anymore. I was a doctor, a survivor, a woman who walked away from a burning building and built a new one from the ashes. And I was just getting started. The article dropped on a Tuesday morning. I was in the middle of an egg retrieval when my phone started buzzing. I ignored it. I had a patient under sedation, and her follicles were perfectly timed. I wasn't about to let Mark Williams ruin another woman's chance at motherhood. But when I walked into the break room afterward, every nurse was staring at their phones. The receptionist, Maria, looked up at me with wide eyes. Dr. Chin, have you seen this? She turned her screen toward me. The headline was huge, bold, impossible to miss. Prominent Lake Forest family faces genetic fraud lawsuit after affair scandal. Below it was a photo of Mark, his mugshot, the one from his arrest for trespassing. He looked awful, disheveled, angry, defeated. I read the article slowly. It was thorough. Whoever wrote it had access to everything. The genetic reports, the hush payment records, the texts between Mark and Lily. Even a statement from Lily's mother. My daughter was manipulated, Mrs. Thompson said. She was young. She trusted him. He told her he was leaving his wife. He told her they would have a family together. He never mentioned the genetic condition that could kill their child. I put down the phone. I didn't smile. I didn't celebrate. I just felt a quiet sense of completion. Maria was staring at me. Is that your husband? Ex-husband. Soon to be ex. Oh my God. Dr. Chin. I'm so sorry. Don't be. I'm not. I walked to my office. I closed the door. I opened my laptop and pulled up the comments section. It was brutal. Rich people are disgusting. That poor wife. Hope she takes him for everything. Karma is a bitch. I closed the laptop. I didn't need to read anymore. I knew what was coming next. My phone rang at noon. David Rosenstein. Did you see it? He asked. I saw it. Your timing is impeccable. The divorce hearing is in 2 weeks. This is going to make my job very easy. How easy? He's going to settle. He has no leverage. His reputation is destroyed. His law firm fired him this morning. They did. Effective immediately. Statement says they cannot condone behavior that violates the ethical standards of the profession. Translation: they don't want to be associated with a sociopath. What about Eleanor? She resigned from the charity board. Voluntarily. Apparently, the other members were going to vote her out. She decided to step down for personal reasons. And Brett? Retired judge. He's untouchable legally, but socially, he's finished. His golf club suspended his membership. His bridge partners stopped returning his calls. I leaned back in my chair. I should have felt something. Pity, maybe, or satisfaction. Instead, I just felt tired. What about the baby? I asked. Stable. Still in the NICU. Lily is talking to lawyers. She's considering a wrongful birth lawsuit against Mark, claiming he knowingly exposed her to a genetic risk without disclosure. Can she win? Probably, especially with the documentation you provided. Good. David paused. Zara, you know, this is going to get ugly, right? Mark is going to fight. He's going to blame you. He's going to try to drag you through the mud. Let him try. I have nothing to hide. That's what makes you dangerous. He called me that night. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. Zara. Mark. You did this. I didn't write the article. Mark. I just provided the facts. You ruined me. My career. My family. My reputation. Everything. You ruined yourself. I just documented it. He was breathing heavily. I could hear ice clinking in a glass. He was drinking. Good. I lost everything. He said, my firm, my friends, my parents won't even talk to me. My mother had a heart attack. Is she okay? She's alive, but the stress triggered something. She's in the hospital. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? Are you really? No, but I'm supposed to say it. He laughed. It was hollow, broken. You know what the worst part is? I still love you. After everything. I still fucking love you. You don't love me. Mark. You love what I represented. Stability. Status. A safety net. You never loved me. How do you know what I felt? Because I know you. I lived with you for 7 years. I know how your mind works. I know that you don't see people. You see assets. That's not true. Then tell me one thing. One thing you love about me that isn't related to my job or my income or my usefulness to your family. Silence. That's what I thought. I hung up. I sat in the dark for a long time. I didn't cry. I didn't feel sad. I just felt empty, like I had finally purged a toxin from my body. 2 weeks later, I flew to Chicago for the divorce hearing. I wore a navy blue suit. Simple. Professional. No jewelry. No makeup except mascara. I wanted to look competent, unshakable, untouchable. Mark was already there when I arrived. He was sitting at the defense table with his lawyer. His lawyer looked young, nervous, probably fresh out of law school. Mark couldn't afford a good one anymore. Mark looked at me when I walked in. His eyes were red. His suit was wrinkled. He looked like he hadn't slept in weeks. I sat down next to David. He handed me a folder. Settlement offer. He whispered, he's willing to give you the house. Liquidate the assets. No alimony. No contest. That's generous of him. He doesn't have a choice. If this goes to trial, the discovery phase will expose everything. Every affair. Every payment. Every lie. He can't afford that. Accept the offer. Just like that. Just like that. I don't want his money. I don't want his house. I want his name off my paperwork. David nodded. He stood up. He walked over to Mark's lawyer. They talked for 5 minutes. Heads bent. Papers shuffled. Then David came back. It's done. Sign here. I signed. The judge banged his gavel. Divorce granted. Case closed. I stood up. I walked out of the courtroom. I didn't look back. I was in the elevator when the doors opened and Lily walked in. She looked different, older, thinner. Her blonde hair was pulled back in a tight ponytail. She was holding a coffee cup. She was wearing a Northwestern hoodie. She saw me. She froze. Zara. Lily. We stood there. The elevator doors closed. We were alone. I read about the baby. I said, "He's stable? He's stable. He's going to need surgeries, therapies, specialized care for the rest of his life. But he's alive. That's good." "Yeah, it is." She looked at me. Her eyes were tired. "I wanted to apologize," she said, "for what I did, for sleeping with your husband, for coming to your house, for letting his family treat you like garbage. I was young. I was stupid. I thought he loved me. He didn't love you. He doesn't love anyone. I know that now." The elevator reached the ground floor. The doors opened. "Where are you going?" I asked. "Back to the hospital. My mom is watching the baby. I needed coffee. Take care of yourself. Lily, you too. Zara." I walked out of the building. The Chicago sun was bright, cold, clean. I hailed a cab. "O'Hare," I said. I didn't look back. 3 months later, I was in New York. I had been invited to speak at the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists annual conference. The keynote address. Topic: Ethical Boundaries in Reproductive Medicine. I stood backstage, looking at my notes. My hands were steady. My heart was calm. A stagehand approached me. 5 minutes. "Dr. Chin." I nodded. I thought about the journey that brought me here, the betrayals, the escapes, the rebuilds. I thought about Mark, Eleanor, Brett, Lily, the baby. I thought about the woman I used to be, the one who apologized for existing, the one who shrank herself to fit into other people's expectations. She was dead. I was someone new. The stagehand counted down. 3, 2, 1. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Zarachin." I walked onto the stage. The applause was thunderous. I looked out at the sea of faces, hundreds of doctors, researchers, students, people who had traveled from across the country to hear me speak. I smiled. "Thank you," I said. "I'm going to tell you a story." I told them everything. Not the clinical version, not the sanitized version, the real version. I told them about Mark, about Lily, about Eleanor, about the genetic report, about the escape, about the rebuild. I told them about the moment I realized that my value was not determined by my husband's approval, that my worth was not measured by my ability to serve others, that I was enough, exactly as I was. When I finished, there was silence. Then they stood up. Standing ovation. I stood there, in the spotlight, and I let myself feel it. I had won. Not because I destroyed Mark, not because I got revenge, but because I survived. I thrived. I became the person I was always meant to be. After the speech, I was mobbed. People wanted photos, autographs, advice. I gave them what I could. A young woman approached me. She was maybe 25, red hair, freckles. She was holding a copy of my speech transcript. "Dr. Chin?" "Yes." "My name is Rachel. I'm a second-year resident. I just wanted to say your story inspired me. I'm in a similar situation. My boyfriend, he's not good to me. He tells me I'm not enough. He makes me feel small. Listening to you, I think I need to leave." I looked at her. I saw myself. 7 years ago. Scared. Hopeful. Trapped. "Do you have somewhere to go?" I asked. "I have a sister in Portland. She said I can stay with her." "Go. Don't wait. Don't let him convince you to stay. You are enough. You have always been enough. She hugged me. She was crying. Thank you, she whispered. Don't thank me. Go live your life. She walked away. I watched her go. I hoped she made it. That night, I sat in my hotel room. The view of Central Park was beautiful. The city lights sparkled below. My phone buzzed. Ethan, saw the video of your speech. You were incredible. I'm so proud of you. I smiled. Thank you. Wish you were here. Me too. Next time, I'm coming with you. Deal. I put down the phone. I poured myself a glass of water. I looked at the reflection in the window. I saw a woman. Strong. Independent. Free. I raised my glass. To new beginnings. I said. I drank. And for the first time in years, I felt completely, utterly at peace. 18 months later, I was standing in a bookstore in Manhattan, signing copies of my book. The line stretched out the door. People held worn copies. People held brand new ones. Some had driven hours to be here. Some had flown. They told me stories. They told me that my words had saved them, that my story had given them courage, that they had left their own marks, their own Eleanors, their own prisons. I signed each copy with the same message. You are enough. You always were. My publicist, Jenna, tapped my shoulder during a brief break. You have a visitor. She asked to see you privately. Says it's important. Who is it? She wouldn't give her name, but she said to tell you it's about Lily. I paused. Lily. I hadn't heard that name in over a year. Send her back. Jenna disappeared. A moment later, a woman walked into the green room. She was older, maybe 60, gray hair, kind eyes. She was holding a photograph. Dr. Chin? Yes. My name is Margaret Thompson, Lily's mother. I stood up. I remembered her voice from that phone call. Years ago, when I had told her about the genetic mutation. She sounded older now. Tired. Mrs. Thompson. Please, sit down. She sat. She placed the photograph on the table between us. It was a little boy, maybe 18 months old. Blonde hair, blue eyes, smiling. This is Noah, she said. Lily's son. Mark's son. He's beautiful. He's healthy. The treatments worked. The experimental protocol you recommended saved his life. He walks. He talks. He's a normal little boy. I felt something loosen in my chest. I'm glad. Lily wanted to be here today. She couldn't. She's in Oregon. She remarried. A good man. A teacher. Noah calls him Dad. That's good. That's really good. Margaret reached into her purse. She pulled out an envelope. Thick. Sealed. Lily asked me to give you this. She said you'd understand. I took the envelope. I didn't open it. How is she? I asked. She's happy. Truly happy. For the first time in her life. She's happy. She said to tell you that you saved her. Not just Noah. Her. I nodded. I didn't know what to say. Margaret stood up. She hugged me. It was unexpected. Warm. Thank you, Dr. Chin, for everything. Take care of Noah. I will. She left. I sat alone in the green room. I opened the envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter. Dear Zara, I don't know if you'll ever read this. I hope you do. I need you to know something. I was young. I was stupid. I was desperate for someone to love me. And Mark knew that. He saw it in me like a shark smells blood. He used me. He lied to me. He told me I was special. He told me he would leave you. He told me we would be a family. I believed him because I wanted to believe him. When I found out about the baby's condition, I wanted to die. I thought it was my fault. I thought I had done something wrong. I thought God was punishing me. Then you came. You didn't have to help me. You didn't have to save my son. I was the woman who slept with your husband. I was the woman who invaded your home. I was the enemy, but you saved him anyway. You saved me. I don't expect your forgiveness. I don't deserve it, but I want you to know that I spend every day trying to be worthy of the gift you gave me. I volunteer at a women's shelter. I teach yoga to survivors of domestic abuse. I tell my story so that other young women don't make the same mistakes I did. Noah asks about you. He doesn't know your name, but he knows that a kind doctor helped him get better. He draws pictures of angels in white coats. He gives them to me. I keep every single one. Thank you for not letting my mistakes define my son's future. Thank you for being the person I needed when I didn't deserve it. With gratitude, Lily. I folded the letter. I put it back in the envelope. I tucked it into my bag. I walked back out to the signing table. The line was still there, waiting. I smiled. Next. The book tour ended in Los Angeles. I flew home on a Sunday afternoon. Ethan picked me up at the airport. He was waiting at the curb. He was holding flowers. Sunflowers. My favorite. How was New York? He asked, kissing my cheek. Exhausting. Amazing. Exhausting. The reviews are incredible. You're a New York Times best-selling author. I know. I haven't processed it yet. Process it later. I have dinner reservations. And news. Good news or bad news? Good news. Very good news. We drove to a small restaurant in Santa Monica, overlooking the ocean. The sunset was painting the sky orange and pink. Over pasta and wine, Ethan reached across the table and took my hand. I got the fellowship, he said. At Johns Hopkins? At Johns Hopkins, starting in September. Ethan, that's amazing. Congratulations. It's in Baltimore. I'll be there for 2 years. I know. We talked about this. About what would happen if I got it. We did. I don't want to lose you, Zara. But I also can't turn this down. You shouldn't turn it down. So what do we do? I looked at him. He was nervous. Genuinely nervous. Afraid that I would pull away. Afraid that I would run. I squeezed his hand. I've been thinking about this. I said. About us. About what I want. And I want to come with you. He blinked. Really? Really? My book is done. The clinic in Beverly Hills offered me a partnership. But I can defer. I can get privileges at Johns Hopkins. I can start fresh. Again. You would do that for me? I would do that for me. I love you, Ethan. But more than that, I trust you. And I'm not afraid to build a new life. I've done it before. I can do it again. He didn't say anything. He just kissed me. Right there. In the middle of the restaurant. With the sunset behind us and the ocean below us. I kissed him back. And I meant it. We moved to Baltimore in September. The city was different from Chicago. Different from LA, grittier, realer. The harbor was beautiful. The people were tough. The winters were cold. I loved it. I joined the faculty at Johns Hopkins. I taught residents. I performed surgeries. I published papers. I became the person I was always meant to be. Ethan thrived in his fellowship. He worked long hours. He came home exhausted, but he came home to me. We bought a row house in Federal Hill, 3 bedrooms, a backyard, a porch swing. We adopted a dog, a rescue mutt named Charlie. He was missing an ear and half his tail. He was perfect. Life was good. One night, I was scrolling through my phone when I saw a notification. Mark Williams sentenced to 36 months for fraud and conspiracy. I clicked the article. It detailed everything. The hush payments, the blackmail, the lies. He had been running a scheme for years, promising women marriage, getting them pregnant, paying them off, rinse and repeat. Lily's lawsuit had triggered an investigation. The FBI got involved. They found bank records, wire transfers, a pattern. He pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. I put down my phone. I didn't feel triumph. I didn't feel pity. I just felt closure. I visited Eleanor once. She was in a nursing home in Florida, a small one, not the fancy retirement village she had planned for, just a room with a window and a TV. She didn't recognize me at first. Her memory was fading. The doctors said it was early onset dementia. Stress had accelerated it. Zara, she said, squinting at me. Is that you? It's me, Eleanor. You look different. Happier. I am happier. Good. That's good. I sat with her for an hour. We didn't talk much. She drifted in and out. Sometimes she thought I was someone else. Sometimes she thought I was her sister, who had died 20 years ago. Before I left, she grabbed my wrist. I was wrong, she said, about you, about everything. You were the best thing that ever happened to my son, and I was too blind to see it. It's okay, Eleanor. It's not okay, but it's too late to fix it. It's never too late to say you're sorry. She cried. I held her hand. I left. I didn't visit again. Brett died 6 months later. Heart attack. Alone in his apartment. The cleaning lady found him. I didn't go to the funeral. I sent flowers. White lilies. Ironic. Ethan asked me if I was okay. I'm fine, I said. He was a stranger to me. He always was. Still, it's closure. Yes, it is. The final piece of the puzzle came a year later. I was in my office at Johns Hopkins when I received a letter. Official. Government seal. It was from the Illinois State Medical Board. Dear Dr. Chin, we are writing to inform you that the complaint filed against you by Mr. Mark Williams has been dismissed. The board found no evidence of misconduct, breach of ethics, or violation of patient confidentiality. We apologize for the inconvenience this investigation may have caused you. Sincerely, Dr. Patricia Langford, Chair, Ethics Committee. I read the letter 3 times. Mark had filed a complaint against me years ago, claiming I had violated doctor-patient confidentiality by releasing the genetic report. He had tried to destroy my career, even from prison, and he had failed. I framed the letter. I hung it on my wall. Next to it, I hung the photo of Noah, the one Margaret had given me. 2 reminders, one of what I had survived, one of what I had saved. Today, I am 41 years old. I am a professor at Johns Hopkins. I am a best-selling author. I am a wife, a mother. Yes, mother. Ethan and I adopted a little girl last year. Her name is Maya. She is 2 years old. She has big brown eyes and a laugh that fills the entire house. She calls me Mama. She calls Ethan Daddy. She has no idea that I spent 10 years being told I wasn't good enough to be a mother. She just knows that I hold her when she cries, that I kiss her scraped knees, that I read her bedtime stories every night. She is my greatest achievement. Not the book, not the awards, not the revenge. Her. I still think about Mark sometimes. Not with anger, not with sadness, just with a strange sense of gratitude. If he hadn't betrayed me, I would still be in that mansion, shrinking myself, apologizing for existing, believing that I was lucky to have him. He did me a favor. He showed me who he was, and I believed him. I walked away. I built something better. Last week, I received a letter from prison. Mark's handwriting. Shaky. Desperate. Bara, I know you have no reason to read this, but I need to say it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything. For the lies. For the affairs. For treating you like a servant. For making you feel small. I've been in therapy. Group therapy. Individual therapy. I've been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. I didn't believe it at first, but now I see it. I see how I use people, how I hurt people, how I hurt you. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't deserve it, but I want you to know that I'm trying to be better. For myself. For whatever future I have left. I hope you're happy. I hope you found someone who treats you the way you deserve to be treated. I hope you're free. Mark. I read the letter. I folded it carefully. I put it in a drawer. I didn't respond. Not because I was angry. Not because I was bitter. But because I had nothing left to say to him. He was a chapter in my life that I had closed. I was writing a new book now. Tonight, I am sitting on my porch swing in Baltimore. Maya is asleep inside. Ethan is reading in the living room. Charlie is curled up at my feet. The stars are out. I think about the woman I used to be, the one who cried in the bathroom, the one who apologized for existing, the one who thought she was lucky to have a man who treated her like garbage. I want to tell her something. I want to tell her that it gets better, that the pain doesn't last forever, that the betrayal is a gift in disguise, that walking away is not weakness, it is strength, that you don't need a prince to save you. You need to save yourself. And when you do, when you finally choose yourself, that is the most powerful thing in the world. I look up at the stars. I smile. Some women wait for a prince. I built my own castle, and I made sure the drawbridge only goes one way.